Good morning, DFC, and welcome to a special edition of Grade 11 Entrepreneurship. In this edition, I'm going to show you how to do your financial statements. Now, normally I do this one-on-one with students in the classroom, but I'm going to have to do it a little differently this year because of COVID. But let's get down to it. The first one is called the unit of sale chart. Now, a unit of sale is just one of whatever you're selling. And for this example, I'm going to use my idea of snow shoveling as my business idea. So your unit of sale, you want to list your variable costs, your materials and labor for your business idea. Now mine is 1 hour of snow shoveling or one driveway. That is how I'm pricing my variable costs. And the only material I'll need, so labor, that's my work. I do 1 hour work. I charge myself $15 because that's just slightly above minimum wage. Next is ice melting salt. And I may use only, say, 10 cents of that. And you can add and remove rows as you need by just right-clicking the mouse and delete or insert. Since I only have two variable costs, my labor and my ice melting salt, I can delete those rows. So my total variable cost, then I'll add up everything that I listed, $15.10. And my selling price. So I want to sell my product at a rate that will earn me a profit, say $30. Now to calculate gross profit per unit, I take my selling price, which is this, and I subtract my total variable cost. This is how much it costs me to shovel a driveway. So selling price minus total variable cost is $14.90. So that math you can just do in your head. But I'm going to grab my calculator. For the next few slides, I will need a calculator. Now, if you haven't seen this chart before, a full lesson on how to do a unit of sale chart is in activity 2.5. So please watch that video if you're still unsure. I'm not going to go into everything about how to make a unit of sale chart because I've already covered it. But go back to activity 2.5 and watch that video, please. Next are monthly fixed costs. So these are the costs that I'll have to pay every month. Now, if a cost doesn't apply to you, remember, the key here is estimates. I'm making my best guess as to how much these things cost. But for my snow shoveling business, I won't have any rent, no utilities, sales and advertising, maybe $20. Insurance, no. Interest, no. Wages, no. Service costs, no. Depreciation, that's money you set aside to replace equipment that it will eventually break down like a shovel. And I'll say $10. And other, I just justify it as additional money I may have to spend, say another $10. So 20 plus 10 plus 10 equals $40 in total. So I'm expecting to spend $40 a month on my snow shoveling business, and that's every month, on sales and advertising, depreciation, and other costs. So if a cost does not apply to your business idea, just give it a 0. Okay, so this is where things may get a little unfamiliar, and I tried to include as many hints and suggestions as I could. So the first thing you want to do is think about how often your business will run. Now, my business, I'm going to say that it runs from November to March. So that's 5 months. That's important to know. Now let's predict how much business I'll get. How do we do that? First is you estimate how many units of sale you'll sell in a week. So I'm going to say 10 driveways in a week. That's definitely possible. So that's 10 driveways. Now multiply 10 by 4.5. That's the number of weeks in a month. That's 45. And then multiply that number by the number of months in a year that you operate. So 45 times 5 months is 225. So I'm expecting to shovel 225 driveways. So I'm going to write that number here, 225 units. And I want to then multiply the number of units, 225, by my selling price, which I've listed right here. Selling price is 30 bucks. So 225 times 30 is $67.50. I'll put that here. All right. So now our expenses, we look to our previous charts. Total variable costs. I multiply total variable costs from slide 15 by the number of units sold. So I'm going to multiply this number, 1510, by 225. That gives me a number of 3397 and 50. Next is advertising and marketing. I'm going to take this number and multiply it by the number of months I'm operating. So 20 times 5 is 100. Wages are 0. Service costs are 0. Equipment and depreciation is 10 times 5, which is 50. Other costs, that was $10 as well. So 10 times the number of months, which is 5, is 50. So now what I'm going to do to find out total expenses is I'm going to add up all these numbers here. Which is $35.97.50. So this is how much I'll earn, but this is the number before my costs are calculated. And these are my costs. So let's figure out what my net income or profit is. So I take total revenue and subtract total expenses. So $67.50 minus $35.97.50. And that gives me a number of $31.52.50. So I'm expecting to pocket $3,152.50. So just over $3,000 in profit, which is pretty good for 5 months of work. And a lot of these numbers I will use in the next slide as well. So sales, let's start at the top here. Opening cash balance, that's just how much money you have on you right now. So say $100. And then any money that gets invested by other people into your business, say I'm given another $50 by my parents to start this business. That'd be considered investment money. So you just estimate or pretend what amount of money people would invest in your business if you told them about it. Next, we take our sales figure, and that is right here. $67.50. Put that here. And then to find total cash inflow, so cash flow projection is simply how much money you plan on having coming in and how much money you have going out. And obviously, you in your business, you want to have more money coming in than going out. That's how you earn a profit. So just add these two numbers together. That will give you 6,800. All right. So now we already did this. So see yearly income prediction for our total variable costs. That is this number right here. So copy and paste that. Our fixed costs, we take this number and multiply it by the number of months we're operating. So 40 times 5, that's 200. And then finally, equipment. You need to find out what your startup costs are. So for example, for a snow shoveling business, my startup cost may be $200. I do want you guys to itemize. Tell me what things you'll need to buy, where you can get them from, and how much it'll cost, and then add up that amount here, right in this corner. For this demonstration, I'm just going to say $200, but I do want you to actually calculate it on your own. So equipment is another 200. So I'm going to add these three numbers together to find out my total cash outflow. 3397.50 plus 400. 3797. Now to find out my net cash flow, that's how much money I have either coming in or going out. Remember, I want money coming in to be greater. I take my total inflow, subtract my outflow, and that will tell me my net cash flow. So 6,800 minus 3797 and 50 cents. So my net cash flow is 3,002.50. And then finally, my closing cash balance, that's how much money I have at the moment, plus my net cash flow. That is 0250. All right, so in just a few minutes, I showed you how to do this, and I realized that I have a lot of experience doing these forms, so they're very familiar to me, but you may have never seen anything like this before. What I usually do is I sit one-on-one with my students, and I work with them on how to do this. If you want that treatment, come into Google Meet, say, Brandon, I need help with these these financial statements, and then I'll open up your document, we'll work on it together, and I'll show you how to do this in like 15 minutes max. How to do all these financial statements. So I really encourage you to take the time, come see me, work on this together, and it will save you a lot of time and headaches as well. All right, that's it for doing financial statements. And I hope you learned a lot from this video. And remember, come see me for help if you need it. All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye.